This session we'll be talking about, serving humanity. In what ways could you say you've been able to serve, to give assistance, to empower people in your own capacity, and then how profitable is this service to humanity, to the society? How profitable is it to people? That's just what we'll be talking about on this session of the program. Join me to meet my guest. She is the president, she's the founder of the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation. This is one foundation we keep hearing about, doing so much good here in Akwa Ibom, and of course across other states. I keep wondering, how does she even do it? She is the founder. She is a minister. She's a reverend with the Church of God Mission. Meet my guest, Dr. Mrs. Rosemary Ewuk. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I had to bring you here so you can inspire people to do what you're doing, to even know how you do what you do to humanity. But first of all, let me ask, I just took a look at the headlines, the papers. I saw so many stories, inflation here and there. How does this make you feel? You wake up each morning, there are depressing stories, inflation, high cost of living. How does this make you feel?
Well, as a person, it doesn't really make me feel different than what I should feel. Okay, because sometimes when you are in the storm, you don't need to be scared. Getting scared, you can lose everything. You can lose your self-confidence, So this time is really hard for especially Nigerians. You go on the streets, you see everyone is feeling the same thing, high rates of almost everything in the country. It's really no longer what we used to at least enjoy. Okay, so at the same time, you need to pull yourself back together. I'm talking about myself. I just have to accept the fact that this is what we are facing at this moment, and that the only way out is for me to keep my head straight and then do what is necessary, like getting involved in businesses, things that can actually help in bringing finances, that at the end of the day you don't really feel it. So some people, if you sit down there thinking of who to call at all time, crying over the whole situation, it won't help. That's what I do, and that's what I tell anyone around me, family, friends, neighbors. As I go out, I tell people, look, there are a lot of things that you can still do and help yourself, because if you don't help yourself, nobody is really going to come help you except God send that help. You get? So at this point, we just have to accept what is happening and then hope for the best. And whatever we can do individually, not just looking at. Sometimes people complain salary is just nothing. By the time it comes, you discover that in less than no time it finishes. So it's seriously, I think, a moment that I feel individuals should sit up and understand that the only impact I can create for myself and also for whoever that watches me is to get myself involved in business. Is good. Sometimes people feel, how do I start the business? There are a lot of things that you can do with little or no money. All right. So if you can involve yourself in that, especially you see the internet now, a lot of people are making money, on the internet space. Get? So you just go there, learn. What it takes is for you to just have your cell phone, not just for taking pictures or doing chatting and all of that. You can learn some things. You can learn something. There are a lot of information that can help. I'm talking about the young people now. Now, for those who cannot use the cell phone like our mothers and fathers, all right. I still believe there are still ways that they can do, like business. I grew up to see my mom as a teacher that she was. I tell you the truth. You know, she was selling fish, you know, doing palm oil, a lot of stuff, you know, like going into the farming work. You know, for instance, our fathers, our parents back home, you can plant, you know, your cassava can make you money. You know, your pumpkin leaves can make you money. A lot of things that you can do. Water leaf, you know, it's just being creative and just stepping a little bit out of the comfort zone. You know, that can change a whole lot, seriously. You know, some people during this time, they are not really feeling the heat of the hardship. These are the guys, these are the people that sees beyond just, you know, the fact that, okay, we are living in a normality. For instance, when we were enjoying the old, you know, the old space without the increments of the house rent, you know, the tariff. Like, you know, as I walked in, I saw you talking about that. You know, so, you know, those were the people who had sat themselves down and then believed that I can get involved in a business, like, let me get to the farm. Honestly, it's very easy and simple. We can help ourselves out of the situation where we are. You know, we shouldn't every time complain about the government. You know, like someone like me, just get doing something. Just let me see what you can do. That's
don't wait for government.
Exactly.
To do
That's
it
where
you.
You know, help can come. If I pass and see that this person is so, you know, it's someone who sees into life and he believes so much that he can do this thing and is struggling with this thing. Those are the kind of people that you see help. If help is to come out of the 1,000 people around, it is all those guys that are busy with something, whether it is significant or not, that will first get that help. You know, and you'll be happy knowing fully too well for them to have started the journey. You know, it won't be a waste. All right. So.
Okay, now you are a philanthropist. You enjoy, you know, empowering people. Does that mean life has always been rosy for you from the start?
All right. Oh, never. Seriously, never. You know, see, service to humanity is it's, I would say it's more like a calling, and it's a way of life. For me, it's a way of life because talking about, you know, helping people and trying to make life a bit easy for people, it should be like that. I tell you the truth. For instance, starting from the local governments, wherever you have been employed to work, and whatever job that is within your range, you're supposed to handle that job in such a way that people that you are to touch will feel it. But it is never like that. You go through if I don't want to talk about that, but in a nutshell, if you are given an opportunity, you are someone who is ahead of maybe others in life, and then you occupy a particular position. That position is supposed to make people feel good, make people feel your impact. You know, at the end of the day, you're not going to stay there forever. A time will come that another person takes over. What will you be reminded of? What impact will you create? How would your next of kin come in to take after you? It will take after you by so doing that probably you did good, and now it's coming to make sure that I'm going to be better than my master who just left the seat. Okay, but true, it's really not like that. People, I don't know how people perceive service to humanity. Are you a teacher? Are you a doctor? Are you a nurse? Are you whatever position, whatever profession you belong, you know, are you selling in the market? The Bible says, now I'm sorry, I have to pull it.
You need to.
Yeah, the Bible says, do it as unto the Lord. How will you do things as unto the Lord?
Okay, before we delve further into, you know, how people can render service efficiently, let's talk about you.
Okay.
You're growing up. You know, what inspired you? How was growing up like for you? Was it rosy? Was it so good for you? You know, talk to us about that.
Never. I would say I thank God that I grew up to see my parents. They were both in the education you know, system. All right.
Okay.
So of course, in those days, their salary would be nothing, little or nothing. Okay, but what I saw from my dad, it was this man that could believe in the farming system. He had a lot, you know. For instance, he had poultry, he had piggery. He had a lot of things. He had farms where he farms yam, plantain, on everything. Seriously, and he had people working with for him, and then he trained them. And I used to remember sometimes I go around, especially in the evening, and I will always tell them, when you leave here, when you leave my home, make sure you have, or you create, you duplicate yourself more than what you've seen me do. Okay. So I grew up from that environment. You know, I would not say we lacked, I would not say we had much, but even as a young little girl, as I was growing up, I was always believing that there is nothing that is impossible. You know, my mom used to tell me that, look, you can become anything if you wish. It is only yourself that you can limit yourself. You can tell yourself that this thing is possible, even in the midst of where it looks as if nothing can work. So you know, those things on my mind were like every time ringing and believing myself that, okay, there's nothing I cannot do. So as a young girl, I remember our neighbors at that time, sometimes they would come to our house and I would notice that they don't eat no food. And so I started saying, no, I cannot be eating, and my friends or my neighbors would stay without food. So most of my portion of food, I would share it and make sure that I leave some for them. So at the point, one Christmas like that, I called some of our girls, you know, that came around. You know, we were all in boarding school, you know. So when they came around, I told them, look, we can actually make money. What do I mean? So there was this something that I did, and I showed to them that let's go buy this thing from the market. We bought beans. You know, let's learn how to cook, and when we are cooking, let's cook something that if I cook, let's see who will buy my own, how my own will taste. So we started by doing this moi moi thing, you know. So we went picking this pick milk, the empty, you know. So I had, as at that time, I remember I had about 9. So one of my neighbor borrowed one to me, and that makes 10. 10. So we did that. So after testing my food, we test others, and then we decide to sell. We hid ourselves in doing this because my father would not allow that. So from that point, I told them, look, you see that you can even clothes. We were just in secondary school. We can sell clothes, and that with this money, we help those who don't have food in our community. And so I started by doing that. So I was able to get one of my neighbor. She's late now in her blessed memory. She was my close friend. So we started doing that, and at the point, the mother called me one day and said, I wish you were my daughter. I said, no, my friend is equally more like me. So I called her, look, you need to do more, you know. So from there, I called the mom. I told the mom, Mommy, you can ask Daddy that you want to sell, because my neighbor, you know, she was just a housewife. So I instigated that as a young girl, and that came to pass. The woman started going to the market, and it was really blossoming. So I saw that this thing, look, we can help people to stand. So I pick up that mindset, and true, I grow with that. Yeah.
All right, we're talking about saving humanity and, you know, making a better society. That's a theme for today. Now you've raised an important issue, the parents, the role of parents. What would you say, you know, to parents in terms of them, because they say charity begins at home, you know, it begins from the foundation. How can they begin to teach their children the need for self-empowerment? And at what stage can this start?
True. This thing, it's a mindset. That's why when you just mentioned about parents, it's a priority for the parents, especially mothers. Okay, mothers to talk to their children, reaffirm, you know, tell them what they can become in life. All right. Also, your daughter will not do less than what you have, you know, done. Okay. So parents, some of the parents, I would say, please forgive me to say this, but I have to mention because I want to encourage everyone to stand up. If you are a parent and you have girls' children, and
by the way, we'll come back to those pictures you're seeing on the screen at the moment. Those are some of the works that our guest has done. We'll talk about that quite soon, but let's talk about, you know, the role of parents at the moment. Let's focus on the role of parents. Please go ahead.
All right, that's fine. So it's a vital role that you must play as a mother.
Okay.
You know, you help them by boosting their confidence. All right, and then they're going to do well by also what they see you do. So it is very, very important that as a mother, even if you never went to school, it's okay. It's okay. I've seen mothers who have trained their children and they become wonderful people in the society without having been educated themselves. Okay. So all parents, all mothers, you know, should wake up. If your daughter is in school, talk to them that there's a need for you to learn this, learn that. You know, you can learn how to make even the hair, even this makeup. You can learn, you know, things that if you're being caught, for instance, a makeup like I've won.
Yeah.
All right. So how much do you think I've just spent? 15,000 naira.
And somebody rendered that service.
Yeah. So that can actually help a girl child by boosting their morale, boosting their confidence. That from that they can do more. And then as a mother, you don't need to fold your hands. You know, some women so much believe that it is because I'm married to a certain man, it is their responsibility. Yes, it is. But to you, there was a commentary I watched I think few months ago, a woman who talked about the parents, that what happened to the dad after the mom after the death of the dad. You know, that had it been the mom sat back and felt, oh, I didn't go to school, or my husband is providing everything I need, it would have been very difficult for them. So a woman, you know, even when you are not yet married, you should think about upgrading yourself. Just yourself, be happy. You know, look at yourself and tell yourself, oh, this is what I'm doing, I'm able to do this. And some other person is watching me, may take after me. You know, somebody may see me as a role model. Be positive in everything that you do, because the little in a society today, you see where the bad stuff go more viral than the good ones. So in our society, I remember Akwa Ibom used to be a place where parents were so much of godly lifestyle and all of that, but at least I don't know what really happened now. Some of them are so lazy. Women, please, I'm saying this to spur you up. I need you to wake up. You have so much in you, you know. You have not even discovered yourself, what God has, you know, put inside of you. All right, whether you've gone to school or not, you need to stand up, you know, for yourself, for your children, and to be better. So please, I'm not saying that to talk you down because I'm a woman. If I'm saying that, that is to say I'm also saying to myself, and I'm also encouraging myself, that you need to stand more, that the way you're standing, you're not firm. So those who are really standing, please be firm, and also understand that your daughter, your sons, you know, either ways, you will still see a child, you know, still reverencing the mom or the dad, either ways. Okay, so it's very important. It's for parents to make sure that you look forward to do within your home. You can turn your backyard to a business ground that will produce you so much money, you know, per season after season. So get back to your home. Forget about the fact that you don't have the money. Look for water leaf. You can start with that. Pumpkin, vegetable, you can start with that. You know, a lot of stuff that are being sold. You can do it that people will notice that this is what you do, and if you do it well, they will come after you. They will seek you. You know, they will look after you, and you will be known. Okay, so you limit yourself by. I've seen a woman who fried groundnuts, and it become a passion. When you eat a groundnut, you definitely look for it. You know, we in our society here love to zip Gary, of course. So you think anytime you have the urge of zipping Gary, you think of grandnut. The way she does it, okay, there is nothing, there is no strange attached, okay, just the way she chooses, you know, to add some increment, you know, by I soak my stuff in the water, I allow it to take a little time and stand a little bit away from what people are doing, okay. So you can do that and you become someone that people reverence, okay. The person is making money. Okay. So it's also a help.
Okay. You know. All right. What would you say, you know, to people who these days people just want to blow? Like, you know, they look at the social media, they see people who have blown, in quotes, you know, who have really made it. They just want to start, and they start earning millions. What would be your advice?
Okay. To me, first and foremost, you know, some of the younger generation seems to follow rules that probably will lead you astray. And also, first, before I talk about what I'm thinking, I also want to call on to some of our people who are like a mirror in the society. Some people watch them, you know, the way they advertise themselves, the way they show their properties, the cars, you know, their achievements. It looks as if the whole thing just came out in just one day.
All of a sudden.
Now, they don't take their time to talk about this, how this come about. And some, true, if you ask them, they may not really have anything to say about the achievement they have achieved, you know. So that is to say, there's a question mark on that. Now, the younger people, I would advise them to take their eyes, truly, of what they see at this on the social media. Most of it is very deceptive. It would not lead you to where you would be end a happy human being. A lot of people love this show thing. They just want to show. I want to see me here. They don't want to talk about the story. Before you get there, how did you get there? What have you done? Be honest. Will you be honest enough to talk about legitimately what you have done that has ended you to where you are? So the younger people need to get back and then see themselves as people who have this sense of the time that they will live. Okay. So if you have that mindset, you will not jump process. You will not just want to blow, because in every journey, before you get to Lagos, if you are taking a bus, there are bridges, there are roads, there are communities that you need to pass by. If you don't pass by, you can't get there. If you are even flying, it takes I think 45 minutes to 1 hour to get in there. So you can't jump that process. If you jump that process, true, there's a problem. Okay, so why our younger people just want to blow overnight is because they are being the peer groups, what they are seeing their friends doing, you know, is just what they want to do. And of course, unfortunately, I just want to mention this Yahoo thing that a lot of young people feel. I've never seen any story at the end of the day that will become a good story to be told. You haven't seen how they return to cry for help, that my friend lured me, or they got me into this. I never knew that it's going to end me this way. Now, in the course of it, I've killed my dad, my mom, my this, my that. Now they are looking for help. I'm looking for a strong man of God that can deliver me. So this is the story. Do you want to hear? This is the story. So think about it. Those things that they spread the money, throw the money. If you truly make that money legitimately, you will honor it. You will treat it with respect. You wouldn't be doing all of that, because you know that this money comes sharply and in a way that it will also return. You know, so it is not a nice thing to see that. Follow through. Look for role models are those who truly have a good story that can help you to learn. You know, build yourself. All right. When we talk about building yourself, it's also entail building capacity. What do you know? If I ask, like me seated here, I have close to about 6-7 things that I can do with this my hand, produce with this my hand. You get? So, like, I remember in 2013-14, there was a campaign I launched here, and it went so well. And right now, I know that we are coming back fully.
Okay.
Honestly, by God's special grace, we also would want people to encourage us and to stand by us. So please, you don't see those guys and then you want to be like him. Do you know what the person have done? What is the antecedents? What is the record? The track record. What are the track record? So these are the things that you have to look out for as a young person, so you won't end up regretting your life. You have a fantastic destiny. You have a fantastic future, guided with jealousy, with zeal. All right. There are better ways that you can walk to the mile of being known and recognized, and be recognized with things that will also leave a lesson, great one, to your generation, to your community, to the world that you belong at last. That's my stand.
All right, in case you're just joining us, my guest is the founder, the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation. She's a cleric, an academic doctor, a philanthropist, and so much more, so much more feathers on her cap. Her name is Reverend Mrs. Rosemary Iwuk. Remember, you can join us via our YouTube channel, AKBC Radio and TV, or you check out our Facebook page, AKBC Radio and TV, for this conversation. All right, earlier on, quite soon we'll talk about what you have been doing, but earlier on you did mention that you said wherever we are, whatever we're doing, we can save humanity.
That's right.
Yeah, can you talk to us about that again?
Okay, for instance, a little bit about myself. Yeah, when I, by God's special grace, where I found myself after my history, all right. So I left Nigeria to further my education. The first place I worked was in Malaysia. Okay, during this time, I made sure that I just believe that as a student, in as much as I can add to this society, so I started talking to people that I want to have a restaurant, want to open a restaurant. Yeah. Those were the things I had a cousin by name of, though he's still there.
Okay.
So I spoke to him about it. Look, we can do this and cook our African food and be selling. We can use this to also support ourselves, and to others that I'm seeing that some after 1 year, 2 years, the story changes and they're now looking for money to further their education. So we can be of help, So he connected me to someone that we should, join together to establish that. So that was the very first step that I take, out there. So God by our side, we came through. Now, at the same time, during the time that I was there, I remember Zimbabwe were having difficulties. Their dollar, their money went down all the way to ground. So it was a place where you mix up with other students, other people, from different parts of the world. So I called few of them who was always close to me, somewhere in my school, somewhere in the neighboring school who was close to mine. So I spoke to them and I told them, look, there's something that you can do. Let's see how we can come together. Your old clothes, or if you have maybe out of your pocket money, if you have some leftover, or what you can say, okay, I will not spend this one, because we have a cause, we are running for something. Bring this, I bring that, and all of that. Let's see how we can support that. You kept on coming to tell me how your people are suffering, and it was really difficult for them. But true, it was easy because we came together and we got that done. So at the point I said, okay, fine, can we establish what we call a Big Heart Foundation? So we discussed, as students, we got that done, and I was a cell leader. Okay, so I developed an habit of making sure that I preach either at the bus stop, in my school, my classmates, where those were always clubbing, and make sure that I let them see, look, you came all the way for you to make a name. Your parents, there's so much hope. And yourself, you want to return from here and still want to go back and be like those who haven't had the opportunity that you've had. So you think about it when you go to these places. Sometimes you return home and you're drunk. you can't wake up on time to go to school. So all of this issues, so I talked to them in love. Some, like students from Botswana, other countries, they were like, it was a way of life for them. But by God's special grace, I tell you today, they are serving God in a capacity that will shock you. They're in different parts of the world. We all graduated, and me, I left to Central America. We are still communicating, and I'm still seeing what these guys are doing. And in fact, during that time, one of them, by name Alice, came to me and said, I see these things that you do. I don't know, this grace, or you have so much of a belief in you. I said, no, if you believe that Jesus is your Father, get to the Word of God. This will boost your appetite. This will open your eyes to so many things, and you believe in it. I tell you, there's nothing that you cannot do. So she's told me, I want to start going to China. I want to be exporting clothes to there. She is a mega in that area. So,
and that was you,
yeah,
in your own capacity,
exactly,
rendering service to humanity,
making sure that if you can get the vision, it will be easier for it to be duplicated. You get? So I make sure on that capacity I did that. And then there was a general foundation that I established where we can go visit people in the prison, some of our students, people who came down and for what reason or the other decided to follow bad friends, and let's get them back. Some of them, they just wanted to feel what it looks like. Now they've seen that it's not like what they thought. So we get them back, and we see how we can work with them through the path of life. So we help them financially as well, and then get them back to church. And it was really a marvelous thing. We visit prisoners. Of course, Malaysia is a Muslim country, and to shock you, I'm a nurse by profession. Okay. So in school, some of my because you have to prove yourself. If you don't prove yourself, nobody is gonna know. For you to break even in a Muslim country, that in the hospital, like one of the biggest hospital, that's where I was serving, Hospital Kuala Lumpur. All right. So they will get to the senior doctors and said, look, she prayed for one woman. Truly, the woman is here. We don't know the magic. Can you just let her pray? To a point where I prayed to one Datu. He wasn't sick. He just, some of those big older people in the country, they come to just take a rest. So, on that particular week, I was scheduled to be with. So when he saw me, he said, oh, in Nigeria, you're from Nigeria. Oh, wow, beautiful. He started mentioning a lot of people that it was one train in Nigeria here, during the Obasanjo regime. That Obasanjo was even his friend. So we talked about so many things and all of that. So it was a very wonderful thing. The person, as a Muslim, they told me that if you pray for me, I've been having numbness. I don't know. Are you going to pray for me? I said, please, will you allow me? He said, okay. I held his hand and I prayed. True to God. By the time I came back, he said, I don't know if it is true or not. Maybe it's in my mind. I'm just thinking that it's gone because I'm not feeling it. So we became like friends. So he would always send for me to come. He would chat with me, would talk with me. And I had some beautiful favors, through just being a positive person, impacting to the society. That's another thing that I discovered. If you're in one country and they see that what you do has created an impact positively, they will love you, they will like you, they will want you to stay. I know many things. At the point as a student, one company came to me through a referrals that they should ask me that I'm the honesty you're gonna find that can you point to someone that you know that we can employ in our company? So I was shocked. I didn't know who to appoint. So I ran back to my cousin. So he told me, okay, Mama, that's the name he called me. Okay, don't worry, we'll talk about it, and we have to look for someone that will not come and discredit you. So I'm telling you, by God's special grace, before I left, there was a lot I tell you. Importantly was in the life of the other students who came from other country, and they returned back brand new people that embrace, development, who also believe that they will go back to their country or wherever that they will find themselves, and then add value. I tell you, when I kept checking on them, they upgrade every day.
Okay.
I don't see them where they were yesterday.
Okay. Now, can you address, people watching us now, maybe teachers, nurses, doctors, whatever you're doing, market women, the roadside, the person that sweeps, how can they how can they render service, selfless services to humanity? What impact can they make?
Sorry, if you would permit me, because now I was talking about my little experience out there. Now here in my country, before I come to that, I said to myself that no, my place must feel my impact, and that I believe that some of my people who still like dormant, they can copy, they can come out of their shell, some of them, they have passion in their heart to serve, but they don't know where to start from and how to go about the whole thing. So I came around, I called a few people, come, let's work together, we can actually do this true to God with no quibble. And I just don't know how God did it. Seated here, ever since the inception of the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation, I have not received one kobo from any organization, from any NGO. No. It has been this God. And then going out of my own, I would say, to making sure that this is possible. We've done this empowerment. I'm talking about, each time we go, we reach out to not more than 700 to 600, 800, 1,000 people. And these are the people that ranging from different help, and then a follow-up. We don't just go here, we treat your matter, or we treat your disease or your sickness, and then we leave you. Some of them, you discover that the young people that came out, most of them talked about going back to school. Okay,
that's about Eden Life.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about, I want you to address people, wherever you find yourself. Before we get to Eden Life. Whatever you're doing.
It's very paramount, honestly speaking, because sometimes as a nurse that I am, whenever I walk into the hospital and see the way some of my colleagues, especially in this my town, handle patients, I cry, because this is something that someone like me, passion. I love being clean. When I used to see people in that clean white attire, wow! I remember one day I was coming back from school. I saw one nurse in my community, so I was just admiring the way. There's no stain. Everywhere is what I'm telling you the truth. Everywhere is clean. That is what I want to become. And by God's special grace, I emerged as a nurse. So over where I was trained, all right, you have to be selfless. The love for people, if you never had one, during this time there's a course that you must study, and you'll be told, you'll be trained in how to handle patients, your communication skill with the patients. For instance, you see, I notice a whole lot. You see where people are details. Life is important to them, and they treat it as though it is. Even if I have come to you as my patient, for instance, and then tells you, okay, I must make sure that I introduce myself to you, let you understand what I'm coming to you, even though you know that walk round or by this time injection or whatever that is coming to you, I still have to come to you, talk to you in a calm way, and then make you feel good and relaxed. If you have any question as my patient, you ask me, I must respond to you with a smiling face. I was taught that the way I look, how I smile, not you don't go there and look as if you're drunk with the patient. No, at least, how are you, ma? I hope you're fine. My name is Nurse this, that. Today I'll be coming to do your vital signs, or maybe during the afternoon. You must explain the procedure. Do you know, sorry to say this, in my place I've walked around, it's something that I know that they have been taught that you should know. Do it, because your smile can easily reverse the sickness from a patient.
Yeah, make
your
them feel
exactly.
good.
So you see where a pregnant woman with such pains and anxiety, okay, and you'll be treating her, so to say, like you don't feel what she's feeling, and then a nurse, what was your training like? The oath you took to becoming a nurse, it is something. I'm not saying no, it's not to everyone, because I believe there are lots of good nurses who have given out their service and their time for this work that they have come into. But there's a lot. I'm still talking about those sometimes negligence, sometimes after all, who is watching me, you talk to your patients anyhow. No, please, I tell you the truth. This particular profession is a profession where, as a doctor, as a nurse, any caregiver, be sure that at that moment the person is not thinking like you. The sickness has a way of making someone become very, very sad, and they could say anything. Like one day my aunt told me, do you know, my daughter, do you know a patient that once slapped me? And I said, oh, thank you, are you okay? And one time, do you know you're a stupid woman? Oh yes, I know. But are you okay? Can I get at the end of the day? You see that patient, it's not because, I mean, he loves where she or he is. Help that person to come out of that place and see the appreciation that comes to you. And away from men appreciating, what about God? Do it as unto the Lord. You are a pastor. See, you are representing God in everything. You don't do it as if it's your business. It is not your own business. It is a business of a man who has loved you so much and find you worthy and called you into that very vineyard. Okay? People that are coming, that people that used to look at the pastor, oh, I feel like becoming a pastor. That people, you get, you know, let them admire the way you dish out to people, you know, all over. You know, your life first will count. With your family would count. With people would count. A lot of things will count. Now, if you're selling in the market, people take advantage a lot. You don't know that you're doing yourself. If you looked around, this kind of people never prosper. There is always a time where it will come to that moment where you will regret. Will you rather...
Those are for people who cheat.
Who cheats in either ways.
Okay.
Be it a lecturer. Recently I saw where, you know, on the social media, where a lecturer demanded that I'm going to sleep with you, according to the young lady, after she must have paid a hotel, paid some money, demanded from him, still to him, right? And then you still have the guts of saying you must do this and that and that. He take the young lady through a process of payment upon payment upon payment, and then demanding now finally that I must sleep with you. It's not nice. It's not too fair. You have the opportunity to make it. Someone like me, if you're in that place, improve yourself, improve upon. Let other young people, he was even a young man, see you, the way you lecture, you know, your skill, the ideas that you bring in. If I enter the hospital, I remember I have some clip. Maybe next time if I come, I could just play with. Okay. That if I enter the hospital, a Chinese or any of them, you know, race would prefer, oh, that black nurse, call her for me. I need her. Let her attend to me. Do it differently. Let your presence be, allow that presence. If you leave, let people miss you. Let people know that, oh, I wish she was here. I wish he was here. Not taking advantage of what the grace that God has given to you. You now want to mess up the life of that young lady. As God may have it, they set him up and he fell into it. At the end of the day, I'm sure his license as a lecturer and everything is going to be terminated. I don't know. I wish so he can serve as a great lesson that people will have to learn. So what I'm saying, whatever capacity that you find yourself, whatever you do, a businessman, a lecturer, a pastor, a doctor, make sure that you're going to live the sense of time. That thing that you do that nobody sees you and you feel you've gone, you've gone away with it. What about your children? I know that some people have said, no, I don't have time to bring children to this world. It will still find a way to a thing or to your person that is going to hit you so hard. So there is no reason to spending that time in doing what will make you regret and think of having a chance to make it right. Okay. So do it right.
Okay. So whatever you're doing, if you want to, render positive value, if you want to render value to society, make sure you're doing it right. Make sure you're doing it as unto God. All right. Now let's have you talk about the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation. First of all, what inspired you, to start this particular foundation?
Okay, like I said, haven't founded one that was like a general one for any student that comes into where I was. Even when I moved to Central America, we were still going on, checked on the program and see how well a lot of people at the end of the day, they were able to establish their own in their own country and also duplicate like that and touch life. So I felt that we can learn our hands, we can always be there for each other. Touching life became like a norm, like this is my life. If I don't do it, no happiness, no joy is found in me. So when I used to see where people come back and feel so happy and relieved, believing that, oh, I thought all hope was gone, but now I believe that I can go somewhere in life, by helping through this medium. So one time like that, when I came to Nigeria in 2013 or so, I wanted to establish my company because I brought some foreigners. Okay. There was this company that they wanted to establish in my country. Unfortunately, I got due. Oh. Yeah. So, and when I talk about the foundation, on one occasion, somebody talked about a woman that put to bed, and that I think the husband ran away or something. Either something happened to the guy. So I was just there. So at the point I excused them and asked where the incident took place. They said they can check me there. So they took me to Anua St. Luke Hospital. Okay. So we went, we settled with the lady, we took care of the incident. So, and I talked to them about my foundation, the people who took me. So they were like, what stopped you? Why not establish one here? This is your place. So I said, yeah, I was thinking about that, but from what you were saying, I think I'd rather do it alongside with what I came for. So at that year, we registered. It was True Life Foundation. Okay. But a lot of cases, I decided to ignore it because of the people I brought in and the way they were acting. So I saw that there were no sincerity and they were not after the vision. So I decided to just ignore it. I kept doing what I was doing. So it was 2022. I decided that, okay, 5th, 2022, 5th May, to take it to Nigerian stuff, to get registered with the Nigerian authority. And it's really been a heart seeing that. I have never been a happy person like me. If you see me outside my domain, like outside my country, I did not hear you talk about a Nigerian man or woman. I did not hear you bring my brothers and my sisters down. Don't talk about my country in a way that will make me to go to bed and not able to sleep. So that thing in my head, I said, no, like myself, in my community, I can let them come out. They can let them bring out the best that I know they have in them. I tell you, Akwa Ibom people are wonderful people. I tell you nothing but the truth. It's not because I'm sitting down here. I had encounter with my brothers and my sisters in diverse ways, and I know that sometimes people are not completely okay, like perfect. All right, we have one or two of our shortcomings, but I tell you, these people, they have a heart of gold, a heart of love, and generally in Nigeria, I tell you. So where you see where a Nigerian man or woman do otherwise, check the position. What happened to that person? What has that person encountered? What has driven that person to? You will discover that that is not the true nature of that person. You get? So now I felt in my community, let me establish, I believe that few brothers and sisters will see this and will take after me. If we have in the other corner, somebody is doing something that is helping in that corner, another person is there in this other corner, another person, it will make the whole thing easy. And sometimes we wait for us to start. And I know that there are other NGOs in Akwa Ibom State. We still would need more in Akwa Ibom, in Nigeria as a whole. This comes with a lot of responsibility, because, for instance, getting to these places that we've been, as you see, you get to meet with cases that will make you to cry your tears out, make you think, is this a human like myself? You get? So by the time you see, you are able to touch life. Maybe someone who had believed, oh, will not go to school, is back to school. Like in we have students who are there. Okay. Yeah. So this person believed that, oh, there is a bright future, even though my parents are no longer there, and people are loving me. In fact, God is loving me through people, because you need to be able to love God, allow God. For a human side, you may sometimes feel like, oh, and you may feel that down. But if God is the one stirring up the love, the passion in making sure that you go, I tell you, you won't believe this, but yes, it's the truth. This last program that we just came back from Ibadan.
Okay, you go all the way to Ibadan?
Yes.
Okay.
We were in Ibadan for about, I think, 4 or 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a wonderful, because in that community called Eleguru, a lot of things took place. I tell you, a lot of life with touch and change, and we were able to establish contact with those that we will be feeding us with information, and making sure that through them, a lot of things will be it's not
there. You rendered medical services.
Oh yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Free medical services.
Exactly.
Okay.
And also some where we find those widows. At least some will tell you, since my husband died, I've never had someone who bought clothes for me. So like that, even some of them, you will see some that will prefer food to the clothes. So we also go along with all of that. This last one that we just came back from, I made a video which I will post maybe as time goes on, because in all the services that I've rendered, I refuse to come on the social media. I was not known, but it is only some of my colleagues. Why not? Please communicate. This is an easier way for people to get connected. And I'm like, see, I don't like the...
And you even be inspiring others.
Yes,
to do what you're doing.
Exactly. I don't like the work of show. You know why that became a paramount to me that I don't want? I was seeing that a lot of people who does this, they just do to show. Okay. It's just a show kind of thing. It is not something that is from your heart. So they said, just leave it. Don't worry. We know you and we believe in what you're doing. So that's why we decided to come out the way we have come out. The last one here, if I tell you I pack my gold, yes, what close about 3 million naira, I sold them. That was the very first step, making sure that I sent the money, procure this, procure that we were needed. I took them. I said, no, we have scheduled this, and some of my people are coming from other places. No, we must do this. And the hope was so high. Why should we stay back? So I did that, and I tell you, I became the happiest person that we were able to go there, and that we did accordingly. You get? So it's a work that that you have to love people, be able to. I see some people, some will even have money. The money will not be shown in themselves. Be able to love yourself enough that will compel you to love another. I see there are a lot of things happening in our society, in this our environment, a lot. If you see young people, some of them join. I know some will come up with a story. If not that my parent died, I wouldn't have done this. I wouldn't have. It's not really true. Some, but in a nutshell, a lot of them are just because there is nobody there for them. There's no hope. They just believe that anything that comes, that's what they can grab. You get? So people are in dire need of help. Some medical attention to some homes are just the paramount, but they neglect that. And sometimes, can you give me food? Let that sickness remain. At least let me eat. I've not eaten for some days. So at this point, honestly speaking, I would tell my brothers, my sisters, my friends all over, in your environment, listen to people, watch. A lot of people don't know how to share their situation. They are so afraid who is going to cast them. Are you sure you're not just coming to hear this so that you will take me and go and mock me? So it has become a norm. It gets. So people decided to die and wallow with that pain because they don't have food they know they can trust, who are coming with a genuine mind to help. You know, so they are around your community. Some students have been dropped from school because of school fees, and these are the students that will be so frustrated and they can do anything. Some guys that finished their education, they have graduated, they don't find a job. They had their mind planned about life. Maybe after so here I will get married, will also raise my family. At the end of the day, there is no job for them. And for such people, I often tell them that there are things that you can do. Who knows, if God allowed that in some cases, that you discover yourself and become really useful. There are a lot of stories where people were neglected, they lost hope, but a little opportunity, they just believe, and then they make some one or two little steps positively. I'm not talking about negative. Yeah. And then today they are the CEO of this, they are the CEO of that. You know, they are exposed to a lot of good things that make life better, not just to themselves but to others. You know, but the situation is not something that you just accept and remain there. When you accept and remain, just know that such people, it's even very difficult to even get them out of that environment. You know, no matter what you tell them, they believe that nothing is going to work. Okay. So the Eden Life Empowerment Program, it is not just, you know, to give hands to the poor. You know, it is actually a movement. I call it a movement because, importantly, my younger brothers and sisters who don't have the means of going to school, those are the people that become victim of so many things. We want to stop that. We have beautiful sisters and some brothers that they shouldn't waste like that. They are talented enough. They deserved an opportunity to either go to school, or some of them who believe that, okay, skill is that thing, and they can actually do something with their hands, that the whole world can come in and say, yeah, I stand with you. Okay, so that only will come if somebody will love them enough to say, I'm going to work with you. It is possible, you can do this, come and climb, or yeah, keep going. You know, that's what they need. You know, so there are some people who said, oh, I wished I have someone that can help me. I have concepts. I want to change the way they are doing the makeup. I want to take it to another higher level. So we go after those people and be sincere enough that when you come out, when you want to be trained, that truly you would take it as if this is the last hope that you have. Because people, if you believe in that, you become one of the best. So we do that. We follow any community we go. We don't just go there and be with them for quite some time and then return. No, our presence is well established, and follow up, making sure that those who are not in school will return to school, whether primary, secondary school. You don't have any right to say, so the devil don't use you. All right, so you don't come out and say, oh, I wish I had a parent. You know. So
what should Akwa Ibom people look forward to, you know, in the nearest future from Eden Life Foundation, and then how can they contact you?
Okay. Well, I just want to, like the former president said, we can. Yes, we can. I tell you, together, I believe, because it's not just me. The Eden Life Empowerment Foundation, we have great men, people who are standing with us, who are making sure that this dream come to pass. And I tell you, we believe, God, that in the next or the nearest future, the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation will produce good medical doctors, with the heart of gold, good lawyers, good engineers, in all, fields of endeavor, not just in Nigeria, all over the world. Because we have a target to get to Cameroon, not just all over. Now I want a situation whereby my people, and that's why I'm telling them, when you what you see me do, Jesus often told us, do just that. The mind that was in Christ Jesus was a good mind, a man that does not segregate, a man that will not say you are the white, I am the black. No, there was no such thing. There was nothing like Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. You see the wonderful country that God has given to us. So we should try as much as possible to allow that mind to be in us, because in that way you can move away from Akwa Ibom to Yoruba land. You will still see your home. It is your home. You move from another part, it is still your home. There is no Hausa, there is no Igbo, there is no Yoruba. We are one. That is what the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation is looking forward in the future. And I believe that every Nigerians will come to the term of the fact that we are one, and that we can do nothing by tearing ourselves down, hating ourselves, causing commotion, than coming together, put our hands together. That hand can take us higher and higher. That is just what we need.
All right, you can be part of what the Eden Life Empowerment Foundation is doing by checking out their pages on Facebook. They have D is spelled as D-E, the Eden Family, or you check out their website, the Eden, www.theedenlife.org. Remember, D is spelled as D-E, www.theedenlife.org, and you can see all the amazing things they've been doing, all services they've been rendering to humanity. Perhaps you could be a beneficiary. All you need to do is to check them out, follow them up, and see where they can add value to your life. I want to thank you so very much for all that you do to humanity, all the services you render. You are living this, what they say, think about what you can do for the country, do for your people, and not just what the country can do for you. Now, talking about that, what do you think about the administration of Governor Moino, in terms of empowering people?
Wow, I feel so blessed to be reckoned with this present governor, in the person of Governor Moino. The man has really wowed many people, everybody, not just me. And I'm someone that appreciate good things. When someone does good, let's learn how to appreciate and encourage that person. Governor Moino have truly done so well, for this number of moments that is being into the seat of the governor. He has really demonstrated a leadership role and show love to Akwa Ibom people. And I'm sure and certain that this man it's more like a mirror that everybody needs to, by the time his tenure would be over, whoever that comes in will have to look back and see what this man has been able to do. In terms of carrying people along, I've seen that he has done that. In terms of making sure that you get to the grassroots, Governor Moino have done it. I don't know him, all right? I'm not related to him. The only thing is that we are one. And he's from Akwa Ibom, I am from Akwa Ibom.
And he is your governor.
And I am proud to have him as my governor. So, you know, why I'm saying that, so that people would not think, and I'm not a politician, all right? That don't belong to... this man, you see, one thing I've learned, I've seen in him. In Akwa Ibom, you won't even know which party this man belongs to. He does not... I think he believes in just let's work together. It has to be us. Forget about that it's a name. The APC, the PDP is just a name. It is me. What makes it possible is you and I. You get? So it is not the name that is going to do anything. So Governor Moino, look, just ended what do they call it? That Christmas something village.
Okay.
Oh wow! I sat back there and I was watching. I was seeing the unity, how people united. They came together. They displayed different culture. You know, it was it was so impactful. Honestly, I give it to this man. I know, you know, if you don't see what this man is doing, I'm seeing it. And I know even children are seeing it and they are feeling it. And for me, I said, Governor Moino, God will continue to bless you. You are honored. You are blessed. Thank you. And I also want to talk about the wife. I'm seeing what the wife is doing. He has a foundation, you know, Golden Initiative for all right? It is not limited to anybody, especially for the elderly, you know, pregnant women, girls, child, you know, everybody. She's carrying everyone along. So we are praying for you, and I know that that which is you know, you have been pregnant with, you know, to deliver to the people of Akwa Ibom State, because the development in Akwa Ibom State must surely be impactful, not just in Akwa Ibom, other states, of course. I tell you, they will feel your impact. They will feel what you're doing, either way or another. You know, it's also touch. So we are proud of you, Ma. God bless you for standing by, you know, our governor, to see that in this your little space since you walk into the seat, you know, this has been achieved. And I know that more are still coming. God bless you and may God keep you. And in fact, I also want to, because I've never had the opportunity of really talking about the government. Seriously, Nigerian people, I know that a lot of people are not happy. We are not happy, but we can only hope for the best. Let's also learn how to lend our voice to pray for, you know, our leadership, our leaders. It's very important. When I look at it, you know, like when the Bible talked about Moses couldn't do it to a point. The hand was weak, you know. People had to come look for something and held up the hand so that they could prevail. So in this way, seriously, wherever you're working, individual or whatsoever, learn this. Whatever you wish for anybody in this life will be done to you. Think about it. You have an opportunity of working with anywhere or working in the ministry. Please, let your days in that ministry, let it count. Let people remember how you used to do this and what others could not do. You did it. I tell you. It will count for you, for your children, the next generation. It will count for you. All right, forget it that at the point you're not known, don't worry, you'll be known all over. God knows how he throw his own people, you know, to the right path that should be known in the right way. So let's keep doing what is good. And please, I really want to call on my brothers, my sisters all over the world, wherever you're watching me from, wherever you're seeing us, please, I want you to come in. Let's work together. This is serious. Come in. Let's work together. If you're that type that you have a passion to see that no child will be left without going to school, without having what to do, without being loved and touched, all right, please come to us. Join us. You know, we need your encouragement. We need assistance financially. If I tell you the things that are the name of the students, like in different communities, because I really want to see that all of them get back to school. You that have you written your jam? That's, you know, the name is piling like this. We want to do this. Stand with us. Come to us. Let's work with you. if you have a true heart to touch life, to make sure that someone, there's one man, sorry, in Kenya, all right, I watched a documentary of this man. I said, this man is one of those, I would say, my role model. What this man has been able to do, and I'm sure and certain you watching me, you must have bombed or watched this same very man. Okay, how he was able to pick these children from gutter, from the street, some without clothes, and then take them to himself, train them, all right, took care of them, sent them to school. Today, the man, you can't count how many medical doctors, surgeons the man has produced.
Really. All right, I'm sure if I give you all the time, you'll keep inspiring and inspiring us. Or we want to say we've enjoyed, you know, having this conversation with you. We've been inspired. Quite people have been inspired. And remember again, as we begin to wind down, check her out on the website www.theedenlife.com.
Can as well follow our page.
Follow her social media pages, the Eden Family, Facebook, and whatever. You want to say thank you so very much, you know, for your time on Facebook. Thanks for all you do to humanity. Thanks for all the services you render. God bless you real good. Yeah, thank you so much. And on that note, we've come full cycle on Centerpoint AM 45. We look forward to you joining us next week Wednesday for another edition of the program. My name is Mercy Ekere. Do have a beautiful day ahead.